The legendary Ukrainian heavyweight Vladimir Klitschko stands as one of the greatest heavyweights in boxing history. For over a decade, he was the undisputed leader of the heavyweight division. Vladimir rightfully earned his place in the top 10 greatest heavyweights of all time. The Ukrainian destroyer compiled an incredible record of 25 successful championship fights, 64 total victories, and 53 of them came by devastating knockout. Boxing Starts presents the top 10 career knockouts of Vladimir Klitschko. April 26, 2014, Germany. Vladimir Klitschko stepped into the ring for his 17th title defense, facing WBO mandatory challenger Alex Leapai. The Australian fighter of Samoan descent came with hopes, but left with harsh reality. The challenger simply couldn't withstand the Ukrainian champion's power. Right from the opening bell, the writing was on the wall. In the first round, Alex tried desperately to close the distance. He threw 3 jabs in a row, missing each one badly. That's when Klitschko made him pay. A crushing blow sent Leapai crashing to the canvas. The Australian managed to survive the early storm, but barely. He tried to fight more carefully in the following rounds, but Vladimir was picking him apart piece by piece. By the 5th round, Leapai threw a wild, sweeping swing. Klitschko saw it coming from a mile away and easily dodged it. Vladimir stumbled slightly and moved back, but once he recovered, the hunter became the hunted. Klitschko turned aggressive and sent Leapai into another brutal knockdown. The Australian somehow found the strength to rise, but another devastating combination put him down for good. The referee had seen enough of this one-sided beating.
Let's touch him.
Fürhand, die trifft und Leapai am Boden. Und ab jetzt müssen auch die Ringärzte genau hinschauen. Und wieder die rechte. Und der Kampf ist aus. Der Kampf ist aus. Da sitzt dann Alex Leapai. Und spätestens jetzt hat...
June 29, 2002, Atlantic City, USA. Klitschko made the 4th defense of his WBO title against one of boxing's most respected warriors. Ray Mercer, the famous American ex-world champion, brought serious credentials into this fight. This was the man who had never lost a professional fight. Mercer had faced legends like Evander Holyfield and Larry Holmes and came out victorious every single time. But in the very first round, that perfect record meant nothing. Klitschko unleashed a devastating left hook that sent the previously unbeaten Mercer crashing to the floor. The crowd couldn't believe what they were seeing. Mercer somehow managed to rise and survived Vladimir's immediate follow-up assault. The veteran showed incredible heart just to make it out of the first round. In the second round, Mercer's experience and aggression helped him level the playing field. For a brief moment, it looked like the American might turn things around. But by the 3rd round, Klitschko's shots were flying fast and finding their target with surgical precision. You had to wonder how Mercer was still standing upright. The beating continued for 3 more brutal rounds. Mercer's face became a bloody, bruised mess. His resistance was fading with each passing minute. Finally, in the 6th round, the referee showed mercy. He stepped in and stopped the massacre. Klitschko had achieved something nobody else could do. He became the first boxer to defeat Ray Mercer ahead of schedule. After the fight, Vladimir paid respect to his opponent. He said that Mercer had the most powerful chin he had ever encountered in his entire career.
Could have him show nothing from Mercer, who looks an old man in there at the moment, or is being made to look like one anyway.
Fabian Meza, November 1996, professional debut. In the summer of 1996, Vladimir captured Olympic gold for the Ukrainian national team. By November, he was ready to begin his professional journey. Klitschko's opponent in his debut fight was 27-year-old American Fabian Meza. This wasn't some carefully selected tomato can. Meza came in with 4 wins, 1 defeat, and 1 draw on his record. But the amateur pedigree and Olympic gold meant everything. Meza simply couldn't show any serious resistance against the young Ukrainian destroyer. Vladimir ended the fight in the very first round with a crushing right hand. The American hit the canvas and couldn't beat the count. Just like that, a professional boxing legend was born. April 22, 2006, Mannheim, Germany. The third and final battle between Chris Bird and the Klitschko family was about to unfold. The history between these fighters ran deep and personal. In their first meeting back in 2000, Chris Bird had shocked the boxing world. He defeated Vladimir Klitschko ahead of schedule when the Ukrainian couldn't continue due to a hand injury. 6 months later, Vladimir got his revenge. He avenged his brother by defeating Bird through unanimous decision and capturing the championship title. Now, Klitschko approached this final meeting as a challenger, but he was determined to leave as the champion once again. The fight lived up to its billing, but Vladimir's class eventually showed through. In the 7th round, he dropped the American with a picture-perfect combination. Bird tried to get back up, but another devastating sequence put him down for the second time. The referee had seen enough. He waved off the contest, and Klitschko completed his transformation from challenger back to champion.
Hands, come out boxing, get the bell, good luck. 12 rounds.
Oi, da kommt die Rechte. Was für ein Ding. Kurzbert. Ja, aus und vorbei, vollkommen richtig. Bird beschwert sich da sogar noch und sagt, warum denn das? Aber er hat es angekündigt gehabt schon vor einer Runde. Ich beobachte dich, du hast viele Treffer.
July 10th, 1998, Munich, Germany. Vladimir Klitschko faced off against Nagi Shahid in what would become a complete demolition job. From the opening bell, Shahid was in serious trouble. In the first round, a powerful blow from Vladimir sent the American crashing to the canvas. This wasn't part of Shahid's game plan at all. The American tried desperately to get back to his feet. He rose once, but Klitschko put him down again immediately. Shahid showed heart and got up a second time. But Vladimir wasn't finished with his work. A third, devastating shot sent Shahid to the floor for the final time. 3 knockdowns, 3 attempts to rise, but the Ukrainian's power was simply too much to overcome.
Erste Runde K.O. Was für eine Sensation.
March 10th, 2007, Mannheim, Germany. Some people were genuinely worried about Klitschko heading into this fight. Ray Austin posed a real threat with his physical advantages. Austin matched Klitschko in both height and build. Just a few months before this fight, he had scored an impressive victory against Sultan Ibragimov. Austin had even survived being knocked down in the 4th round to come back and win. Emanuel Stewart, Vladimir's coach, knew exactly what they were dealing with. Austin didn't have a strong jab, but he possessed devastating power in his right hand. Stewart repeatedly warned Vladimir not to get too close to his opponent. One mistake, one careless moment, and Austin could end the fight with a single backswing. Klitschko followed his coach's instructions perfectly. He stayed disciplined and patient, waiting for the right moment to strike. In the 2nd minute of the 2nd round, that moment finally arrived. Austin missed a big shot and found himself frozen at the ropes with his hands down. Vladimir didn't hesitate for even a second. He stepped right up to his opponent and unleashed a devastating 3-punch combination to the head. Austin crumpled to the floor and couldn't recover.
The tall Austin going straight back with his hand.
Commands, protect yourself at all times. All right, let's touch gloves. I expect a good, clean fight. Go.
Vladimir Klitschko.
November 11th, 2006, New York, USA. In 2006, Klitschko had reclaimed the IBF title by defeating Chris Bird for the 2nd time in his career. 6 months later, he faced his first title defense against another promising American. Calvin Brock entered the fight as an undefeated prospect with genuine hopes for victory. At the beginning of the fight, those hopes seemed realistic. The American managed to conduct a competitive fight through the early rounds. For a while, it looked like Brock might actually belong in there with the champion. But closer to the middle of the fight, reality set in. Brock began to fade noticeably under the pressure and pace. In the 7th round, Vladimir saw his opening. He landed a sharp right cross directly on Brock's chin, and the American collapsed to the ring floor. Calvin managed to beat the count and rise to his feet, but he was visibly shaken. The referee took one look at him and decided to stop the fight. Another challenger's dreams had been crushed. September 11, 2010, Frankfurt, Germany. Samuel Peter became one of the unlucky fighters who had to face the Klitschko brothers not once, not twice, but 3 separate times. Each meeting ended worse than the previous one. In 2005, Peter lost a unanimous decision to Vladimir. 3 years later, in 2008, he suffered a technical knockout loss to Vitaly when he refused to come out for the 9th round. Now, in 2010, the Nigerian heavyweight was back for one final try against Vladimir. This time, there would be no controversy about the ending. The fight went 10 brutal rounds, with Peter absorbing tremendous punishment throughout. In the 10th round, Klitschko unleashed a protracted combination of punches that seemed to go on forever. The sequence ended with a devastating uppercut that sent Peter crashing to the canvas. He couldn't recover, and the trilogy was complete with the most definitive ending possible. July 12, 2008, Hamburg, Germany. The more this fight was discussed before it happened, the lower Klitschko's odds became with the bookmakers. This created an interesting dynamic heading into fight night. The lack of confidence in Vladimir actually created a very comfortable situation for Tony Thompson. If he lost, nobody would criticize him for fighting the champion. But if he won, he would go down in boxing history. Thompson seemed relaxed and confident, knowing he had nothing to lose. But sometimes the miracle just doesn't happen. In the middle of the 11th round, Thompson decided to launch one of his rare attacks. He moved forward aggressively, but ran straight into an oncoming right hand from Klitschko. The collision was devastating. Thompson collapsed on the ring floor and struggled to get back to his feet. Tony managed to rise and showed the referee that he was ready to continue fighting. But veteran referee Joe Cortez knew better. He realized that if he allowed the fight to continue, it would only end with Thompson suffering another, possibly more severe knockdown. Cortez made the wise decision to stop the contest and protect the fight. March 20th, 2010, Dusseldorf, Germany. Klitschko's victory over Eddie Chambers was absolutely perfect in every way. This was a pure knockout that left no questions about the outcome. The defeated opponent was completely dazed afterward and had no memory of what had happened to him. It was that clean and that devastating. Everything happened with just 12 seconds remaining in the fight. An angry Vladimir had been stalking Chambers throughout the round, looking for the perfect opportunity. When that moment finally arrived, Klitschko caught up with the challenger and threw a perfectly timed left hook. Chambers' unconscious body hung helplessly on the ropes. The referee didn't even need to count. It was obvious that Chambers was completely out cold. This was the kind of knockout that defines a career and cements a legacy. Vladimir Klitschko's knockout power was legendary for good reason. These 10 devastating finishes show exactly why he dominated the heavyweight division for over a decade. His combination of size, technique, and raw power made him nearly unstoppable during his prime years. Even today, many of his records still stand as testament to his greatness. Thanks for watching this countdown of Klitschko's most brutal knockouts. Hit that like button if you enjoyed seeing these devastating finishes, and make sure to subscribe for more boxing legends and their greatest moments. What other boxing legends would you like to see featured next? Let us know in the comments below.